Alright, hi guys. So I'm back. I promised you today because I got inspired, otherwise, I wouldn't have done any videos anytime soon. I promised you today that I'll do a video on the exact entry with the HJ arrows and with the arrows on short term charts. So I'll make this a quick one, probably 5-10 minutes, not more, because I want you to focus on your entry and to see exactly how BR or Jazz takes trades, or actually they take more advanced trades, but the basic ones that you need to know. So we're gonna start. I'm gonna let this go. Let's see. So we're looking at GU, that's to the down for now. EU is right over here on the 1 hour orange road, so we're expecting a bounce, even if it has a red. And UC, we have an uptrend, and GBP, JPY, it's a downtrend, yes. So let's see, what do we have? So I always look at my entry, of course, with the HJ arrows. I don't know how you pronounce it, but I just pronounce them HJ arrows. So I look at my entry here, and now we're looking for, let's see if he wants to break the orange road or take a bounce. But I'm expecting a bounce because look, it went through the B band, came down all over here, and now we might get a bounce, and this will disappear probably and get back up, just like G is doing right now. See, that's a bounce right there. So we're waiting for either new arrows up on EU, or for EU to retrace all the way up to here or all the way up to here on 5 minutes, like this one, and then take them back down. So let's see, what do we have? It looks like it might be an up, but we're waiting for a confirmation of what? What's a confirmation? Arrow on either 5, 15, or 30 minutes with the HJ arrow and momentum. So it looks like we have an arrow, a pink, we have momentum, and it's at 0.2, and we're taking it right now at 0.2. Okay, and we have the DX with us. See, this is a perfect entry. Now, why don't I care about the 15 or the 30? Some of you might think, well, you have a 13 and 30 against me. Is it on a live candle? This is a live candle. This is a live candle. Nope, it's not. How do I know this is not active anymore? Well, because it touched this band, the yellow band, and it looks like it has a bounce back up because this started to become green. So I'm looking for a bounce, the same on the 1 hour. You see, it didn't go through. It's gonna go back up. So that's why I believe this pink arrow will last. And I have the confirmation by having the H arrow and a 5 minutes super pink with it, and momentum and DX. So this is how I analyze and I calculate my future trade. Some of you have been asking about future trades. Similarly, it's happening on the G, you see. But I just showed you how I would enter right now, how I would think on the future. So we're already in 3 pips profit. Now let's take it forward a bit. Right, so we're looking for 10 pips or more. So we're already at 12, so that's already 10 pips. Where are we? Okay. So that's 12 already. So that would be 10 pips. But again, do we exit now? No, why would we? We don't have anything against us. Do you see any arrow against you coming? Do you see an Heihachi arrow coming against us? No. Do you see momentum changing? Nope. Do you see DX changing? Nope. So we're staying in, and look, it's 15, so we are already 13 pips up. Let's see, until how long are we gonna go for? And we're gonna carry on. Okay, so that's already 16 pips in. Okay? Now we exit, right? So when we change the DX, we exit. So that's 14 pips that we've just taken out of the simple trade with 1 5-minute arrow and the HJ arrows. So that's the entry. This is a perfect entry. Why? Because it starts from the bottom of the BB band. And this is what I was talking to Darwin and to Rocky today. But sometimes you get HJ arrows that appear on the orange road. See, I'm talking too much. That appear on the orange road here or here, and for me that's a bit too far already, because from here to here that would have been already 5 pips. So what I do if that happens, stop it. So if, let's say, an arrow appears over here, what I do with it, I just let it do its thing, probably touch the top BB band, get a bounce back down, and as soon as it gets the bounce back down and we have the mum still with us, I take it back up at a better price, because this is already too high. Look how much space you have here. You need to consider counting the space between this band and this band. And this is where you make your money. And it only makes sense if you know that the candles will bounce like a ping pong, right, against these two walls. Why would you take it up here when you know there's this little tiny space and there's a percentage of 90% that it will turn against you as soon as you take it? Whereas if you knew that these arrows are working, because they are working, and especially mixed with any of the short-term chart arrows, and if you take them from as early as possible from the bottom BB band going up, then you know you're in for a great treat. Because look at it, I've only just won at 10 pips, and now it's going for what? This is at 19 now, so we shouldn't even have gone out of it. I was a chicken earlier because, you know, sometimes I just get out when momentum changes. But we didn't have any HJ arrow against us, nor a short-term arrow against us. So we could have easily stayed in. And actually, I'm going to correct myself. And we could say that we stayed in. And look, it's at 20 now. So you almost have 20 pips in from one trade. See? That's 20 pips exactly. Look at this. And now you get an HJ arrow, and now you're looking to exit. So this is 20 pips move from here to here. What a great example. Okay, now let's move on to another example of a great entry price. Let's see, what do we have? So I like the UC that we just passed by. I'm trying to find you an example of an entry that it's quite late, so we can teach yourselves how to enter. But I can't find one. Let's see. What do we have? No. This is a good example, the UC. Why? I'll show you why. So let's say we didn't enter. Go back here. Okay. So let's say we didn't enter on these arrows because at the time we didn't have any signal, right? So you're thinking, I need to correlate. I can't correlate because I don't have any arrows, so I'm not going to enter. I'm going to just leave it like that. Okay, and you're right to do so. Now, as soon as we get an arrow, and we got it, and it's at 68, we enter it. Why? Because we have the last arrows on the 2 minutes chart being with us. So that's also great entry, as long as your last arrow is up. So you enter at 68. But you see what I meant? I'll show you back up again. When you get the momentum and you get the arrow, it's quite high already. See how much space you have left? But if you wait a little bit to pull it back, it will pull back, and then you can enter at a better price. Even with 2 pips, it doesn't matter. It makes a difference when you want to get those pips out. So this went back 2 pips, I think. It was at 66 when I saw it. That's one kind of an example. It's not that great, but working with what I can. Let's see, where was it? Here it is, you see? So it was at 66, and that would have been a better price. So let's say we still enter at 68. Okay? Now, we're at 71, so that's already 3 pips, 4 pips. And we're almost at 10 pips. Oh my god, I'm talking too much. And there we are. This is a 10 pip move, because we took it from here. And you don't exit unless you get an arrow on a 2-minute chart against you, or a 5, 15, or 30. And when you have a 5, 15 with you, you better be ready for more ups, because it's a strong combo. But we took our 10 pips, and we can leave. So that was from 68 to 78. That was one example of an entry. Let's find another example. Again, I said I'll keep it short, so I gotta keep it short. I can't talk too much. Let's find another example. Okay, nothing yet. Actually, I'm gonna show you a reversal too, so you can see how do you enter on a reversal on with the same strategy. So now for me, a reversal is a arrow in 2 minutes with a 5 and a 15 or 30 minutes. You can't just enter on a 5 minute. Well, you can enter in a 5 minutes, but it's got to be a super pink, and we don't have one yet. And I'd rather have a super pink. So we don't enter over here. And let's scroll it down over. But as soon as that happens, and it's super pink, let's see, and it's still a very good price because we're at 74, right? And this is at 66. That's how you count your space of pips. So if that's plenty of space for at least for 10 pips, that's awesome. We're going in. So I guess it started. Let's see. Not yet. Oh, I wanted to show you another one. Really good one. And this one is without a new signal on 5 minutes on GU. Why? So why would I take this one? I'll show you in a minute. So we're waiting for the arrow to show up. And I'll tell you why. Because you see how this candle went through the bottom BB band and it pierced through? And now it's looking like it wants to bounce back up. You'll see when you know it's gonna bounce back up is when it starts to become green and it starts building up. So look at this. So we get a pink arrow in 2 minutes. We have the DX with us, and that's at 72. So we enter it at 72. Even without this, why? Because it pierced the BB band. You have no new arrow against you, no new arrow against you. It's right at the orange road, like Jess says. Look when you're on 15 minutes at the orange road or 30 minutes, because that's gonna give you the next signal of where it's gonna go, up or down. And you got a green momentum, and you got a 2 minutes arrow pointing you to the up. So that means it's gonna go up, because the reversal is not starting yet. So we take it at 72. And we are already 2 pips in profit. And this is a nice one. It's not really advanced, it's still simple and basic. You just have to watch for this kind of stuff and to read it right and to know when it's a bounce. And you should know by now, because when it touches these orange roads, you know you're expecting a bounce. So we took it at 72. And we let it ride for, let's say, 5 pips. Because there's not much space unless we get some more help with it. So we get some help. So that's 5 pips already, 77. Perfect. And it's going on all the way until 80. So nothing changes, there's nothing against us. So we took it from 72 and we are at 80. So that's 8 pips. Okay. So now that it pierced, I would expect it to retrace back down. So we should kind of make an exit. So we could easily make an exit if you don't want to wait for the arrow. So it's at 82 actually. So just one. 10 pips. Like that. That easy. And it's still going. It's not stopping. You have nothing against you, so you can still carry on. So we took it at 72. It's at 87. That's 15 pips. You still have your DX with you. You still have moms, which is great. And it's at 90. So that's already 20 pips. That's a 20 pip move from here to there. And initially, you had no new arrow with it on 5 minutes. But you have all the great signals and all the right story that tells you it's going to go up with the 1 hour. What was it? Well, you had this pierce through the BB band, which suggested it went down. You can see the wick here. And then suddenly it started to change into green, the candle. And then you got a momentum. And then you are also here on the 2 minutes chart at the bottom of the BB band. And this also pierced through. And now it's going back up on a green candle. And you got your arrows with it. This is a perfect sign that's telling you it's going up. So you enter it. You don't wait. You don't think, oh, let me see. It might not go. It might be a trick. It's no trick. Do you have anything against you? Do you have any live arrow against you? You have nothing against you. This is a past arrow. This is a past arrow. This is a past arrow. You have nothing against you. You have these arrows. These work perfectly fine. They're super pinks. They work as good as 5 minutes. If you take it again with the correct story, and this is what BR does, I'm sure, most of the times. Sometimes he would take it even on this kind of week on red without waiting for anything, because he would know that it's going to bounce back up. But we don't do that. We take it with the arrows. So how easy was this trade from 72 all the way to 92? Like that easy. And this would have been your exit. See? A 90, 91. This would have been your exit. Perfect trading. Now I guess this is it for now. This was just for the entry and just for Kevin. Not for Kevin. Kevin, I think he left. Kevin Tunney. I hope he's coming back. So this was for Rocky, for Darwin, for Martini, for all the newbies that are struggling and don't know where to enter, or they're confused with the arrows because there's so many and they don't know which one to pick. You pick the one that makes sense with the whole story, with the arrows. I've given you 4 or 5 examples. Go back and watch them. So that's it for now, and I'll be back with more videos. Just tell me what it is that you want to know and I'll tell you. Love you guys. Bye-bye.